The 503 the 5023 designation.
Yes.
I think the difference is the off-road ability of the vehicle.
Okay.
So you can buy one that's basically like an on-road transport, or you can buy an off-road flavor.
Okay.
And because of Horizon's off-road nature,
This
we
feels
opted to put the off-road flavor of the
Like
vehicle
you
in
do.
the game.
Scarlet Pimple says, throw a few POP 50s in the back of that thing. You could fit a lot of something in the back of there. That's for sure.
You throw like a dozen out in front, it'd be like Santa's sleigh.
That's right. So not the fastest. Oh, nice. You can get the bed.
Yes, you
I
can.
love that.
So as with all Forza games, we have Forza Vista.
Yep.
That affords us, it allows us to do some cool things. We go in, and when we're not only just trying to find the car, we're trying to find all the options for the car that makes sense.
Right.
As you know, we brought a lot of new, wide body kits. This is one of the things that we've been trying to double down on and giving the players more options of like kitting the car out the way they'd like to. I actually like to roll this thing without the kit.
Well, if nothing else, it helps you see, because when you're rolling with the top on, the thing is so big and wide. We were looking at before the show began. You can barely see ahead of you.
Yeah. I'm going to opt to spend a little bit of it in the game.
Okay, what are we buying then?
I just brought that option so we can drive this thing with the canopy off.
Perfect. Well, let's get this thing on the road now.
It's like it enables the outside view again.
That's right. It's the outside view
Re-enables the
enabler.
functionality.
That's right. So a good place to be also in cockpit in this beast. Now, a stark contrast from the Ford Mustang. We're not going to be going 170 miles per hour in this thing.
I just love the stark contrast in visuals.
That's right.
It's like
It's party time.
This is what they brought in to set the tournament,
That's
to
right.
set the festival
To
up.
knock down all the
Yeah, and
trees.
then- yeah, exactly.
But T, you were saying, I think last week, this thing just clears paths wherever it rolls.
Yeah, it's like there's the tarmac that we all love, especially people like our Forza Motorsport crowd, the racers out there. But then there's the Horizon crowd.
It's absurd.
Hey, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line.
We're
There's
going.
different kinds of speed here.
So if you're looking to do some what we call in the game landscaping, this is the car for you. It's rare that anything besides the biggest trees that we have on the map.
Look at this.
Oh,
you might roll it.
Go.
Oh.
And there's an example of it.
I don't want to say they behave differently, but you've sort of opened up the world with regard to trees in Forza Horizon 4. Tell me about that.
Yeah,
too.
so we've always had this off-road nature in all the games. With that comes a little bit of a sticking point with our communities. We are always trying to take feedback from the community, assess where we can improve things. One of the things we knew we needed to do better with Horizon 4 was what we call the tree language. So, you can think of it as car versus. So if there's a car that you feel like should win versus a tree, it does.
Right. In this case,
in the game.
perfect example.
In the game.
Yes, please drive safely. We're not suggesting you go out and play this game in real life.
Right.
But if you glance at a tree and you feel like that you're probably not going to win in the vehicle that you're in, that is exactly how the language works in the game. So if you should win, you generally win. So we've done a much better job of that, which makes it easier to frolic. And
I feel like the visual differentiation alone too.
Yes.
Is really good.
Yeah,
with
you should
this
be able to
compared-
tell the difference between the trees you can get through and the trees you can't.
Yes.
which especially helps like at high speed.
Here's a
You're
prime
just
example. I won that one. I think this car does something like 2,400 horsepower.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
2,400 horsepower. This car behind us, that's so near and dear to my heart, is rumored to do sub 4 0 to 60s. You see a car this big and this fast.
I'm telling you, it's the same designers that did like the LaFerrari or the Senna. Like if you just put like a LMP cockpit on there instead, it'd be hard.
Yeah.
You'd be hard
Yeah.
pressed to tell the difference.
Yeah, it's just like a story high. Otherwise, it's an LMP car. This is basically
true.
the difference. I love
Yes.
that exposed
A
engine.
little bit of a drag coefficient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 2,400 marker is a call out for the horsepower.
That'll do it.
But this thing will do 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds.
Wow, in a straight line. But you imagine this thing, it's meant for I guess people race this thing?
Yes.
I feel like the 2400 is like the number of sheep that have been traumatized by this thing in
Go
the
into
game.
cockpit. There you go. Look at that cockpit.
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't know what half those instruments do. Doesn't matter. Crucian.
Yes.
That's like Swedish for
I
fast.
just assume it's the opposite of off.
Yeah.
Context clues over
I
there.
think I just passed the drag strip, so I'm going to back up here.
That's right, because we do have drag strips. And not just drag strips, but we got lanes in Forza. Playground has done a great job. You know, people want to go to these long straights. They want to go to the airports.
What's a white knight? It has to joust.
It's got-
it
that's
only
right.
it only goes like, you know, you compete in one direction as a knight.
But we've all been there going to the airport to drag race, and now Playground's built us lanes to go in. I love that.
As
Oh,
you can see,
braking
this
maybe
is
not top of
absurd.
the priority list for this.
it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more nimble than the Unimog,
But that's not saying much. This
But,
thing's meant to go straight.
but it might be something that you consider. You know, when you go in,
So
and
is
you're
this
picking
couch.
cars for
Yeah,
races.
that's right.
You know, this beast is going to hold its own with quite a few cars on the car list. So.
I'm seeing some requests.
And there's that.
Yeah, and it can knock anything out of its way. I'm seeing some requests for the VW bus. Want to see the VW in the game? Can we get that, maybe?
Let's go look at it. Let's go see.
So,
Oh, it's so good.
so we're going to spend...
Yes, we are.
Let's walk around this. Oh, look at that. So beautiful. John Iwana is crying with joy right now because this is one of his favorites.
The upgrade hero should just be like a yellow submarine version or something.
This is beautiful.
Lovely detail.
It doesn't have curtains in the windows. You know, sometimes they put curtains in the windows.
It doesn't.
That's okay. It's an option. It's a VW option.
I'm making mental notes through progression, and it's like I stop and look. That you know, what I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally how I play the game
Well,
sometimes.
well, let me ask you while we're driving around the VW bus here. Another question, of course, is this game, you know, Playground, they had the idea for Seasons. They wanted to bring the game to Britain. That affected the car list as well.
Yes.
You know, Playground, right from the start, they're like, Britain is the perfect place for this game.
Yes.
And that definitely had influence on the car list. Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's so much history. I mean, there are, you know, you guys saw the car list. There's probably some things that you didn't see on the car list that you might see. Seasons changed everything.
Right.
So every week the game's going to change. That's going to also bring with it rewards.
Yep.
So some of the things that you might not have seen on the car list might show up in week 1 of Series 1 or in week 3 of Series 1. And there's so much risk history. Like I have to kind of quell some of the things that I like because I love rally.
Right. Go ahead. You love
Sorry.
Yep.
If you come to our parking garage, we in the mornings when you see where we park, we kind of call it Murderer's Row.
Yep.
Yeah, well, which, by the way, this is a shared parking garage.
That's right.
Because our buildings are right next to each other. It's not quite fair. We thought we were doing pretty good, and then you guys moved in, and
Well, you guys have all the warthogs lined up
You know.
in the parking lot.
it's true.
It's just the way it is, the way Forza and Halo rolls.
Yeah, one of the differences we think that I especially have had the privilege of having. I think about 60 cars that I've owned in real life.
Question: Do you guys have a particular favorite type of activity in the world? That's one of my favorite parts about the game is you have like your drift zones and danger signs and speed traps and everything. Do you have like particular ones that you seek out first or that you just find yourself going back to?
I definitely do. It's all about cross country. I love cross country events. Whoever designs this at Playground, every one of them I love. They're just so. They take such interesting. Like interpretations of the vegetation, the hills, the valleys. They're awesome. They do a great job with that.
Yes, for me, I kind of hinted towards it before. It's the dirt racing thread.
Oh yeah, baby,
nice.
right?
And then I also like the drifting.
Okay.
Yeah.